Hi everyone, Amy here with amyswares, and today I'm going to do some card batching and some course correcting. So I'm going to show you some tips and tricks when things don't go as planned. Now I have 4 brand new stencils. These are all from the gorgeous August release at A Colorful Life Designs. So these are tons of new stencils. There's 12 new bling colors. Be sure to check it out. I'll link everything below. But I do have a coupon, AmyFan10. So if you shop, save yourself some loot and use my coupon at checkout. Now, here are some products that I'm going to be using. I have some ink pads, I have some embossing folders, blending brushes, cardstock. Here's a photo of the 4 finished cards. Now these are kind of like note cards. I didn't finish them with sentiments. I thought I would leave them blank. It would make a good gift set, which is what I might do, give them away as a gift set. But I'm picking out 4 Spa Collection colors from Catherine Pooler to go with each of these 4 stencils. So just kind of picking out and going to work here. I'm starting on card panels because I know that I want to also come back and 3D emboss them after I do the stenciling. So this setup here, this is a 25-year-old cake decorating turntable, so I don't have a link, but I will try and link something that might work if I remember. If I don't, please let me know in the comments. But I'm basically going to use the color that I picked to go with the stencil and then do some simple ink blending on the front of these panels. Now all of these panels are US A2 size, so 4 1/4 inches by 5.5, and it's 120 pound accent opaque. I think this first color I'm using is Hot Tub. I don't remember the stencil name, but I will link all 4 of the stencils in the video description box below. If you expand in the description area and scroll down, you'll find links to all the products. So if you do follow my links, it really does help me out a lot. It gives me credit for the sale at no additional cost to you. So I'm just going to work through and do the ink blending for all 4 panels first, and then I will move on to the next step. And as you'll see, like the title suggests, things did not go as planned, but I was able to work through it and kind of figure things out. So I'm going to go through these 4 panels and kind of get to work on how I'm going to create these next steps. So I'm going to do various different colors on these 4 different stencils and go from there. I have this really pretty orange one through this stencil, and again I'm going to kind of do the same thing, pick which stenciled panel I want to pair up with which embossing folder. So I'm just getting this first step done, working on the final one here. I have this, I think it's sangria color. It's really pretty. It's really like, I don't know, like a sangria, like a wine, what you would expect. But I'm picking the respective blending brush, the closest match I have to it. I'm always kind of like, should I do red? Should I do purple? Because I don't have one for every color. I just kind of have color families plus 1, so maybe like a light and a dark in the colored family. But you can see this is just a really pretty burgundy color. Next up, I'm going to cut down all the panels with a rectangle die. These are all deckled edge. It's a nested rectangle die set from Craft Stash. And I just have these to leave a nice white border when linked up with a A2 size card base. So it cuts them down just slightly smaller. And now I'm going to pick out 4 different embossing folders and figure out which one I want to mix and match. Now I have this new to me one that I'm linking up with the Hot Tub colored panel. And then I'm going to pick 3 other florals because I like to mix florals with geometric. So I don't really want to do a stencil floral background with a floral embossing folder. I want to kind of switch it up and have it opposite. So I'm going to run all these through off screen through my Spellbinders Platinum 6 and their respective embossing folders, and bring these back on screen in just a moment and show you how it looks. So this one linking up with this one and the Hot Tub colored one. Again, I wish I could remember the stencil names. Don't have them all committed to memory yet, but like I said, I'll link everything below. Really excited about this new embossing folder. It's just gorgeous. But here's how they turned out. A little bit lackluster. So this is my first hiccup, if you will, is that, yeah, you can sort of see it in person, but it wasn't really the wow effect that I wanted. When you flip it over, you can totally see it on the debossed side, but on the stenciled side, not so great. So my first thought was, okay, well maybe if I do some ink blending on top of the raised portions, then maybe it'll make it stand out. So I'm kind of using residual ink, and then it just kind of muddied it up and didn't look great. So then I was like, okay, this I tried it. I was being persistent. I was trying it on all 4 of them, or at least 3 of them. Nope. At this point, yep, I did. I tried. So I tried some ink blending with residual ink just on top of the embossing, and it just made it look a hot mess. So at this point, I don't know, would you have thrown it in the bin? I was being stubborn. Like, I'd already done the die cutting, the embossing, the stenciling. I wasn't going to give up. So I decided to go this route. This is a little hard with a foam ink pad. Catherine Pooler are foam ink pads. They don't want to glide over plastic. They want to stick to it. So this was a little bit tricky, but I thought, I'm going to try. I mean, I'm already vested. I've already come this far. I'm making a mess. I decided to do it again because I realized I didn't get the full background and I wanted to give it a fair shake. So this is not my favorite. I'm going to be honest. It's not my favorite, but I'm committed, y'all. I'm not giving up on these. They're not going in the bin yet because I've done a lot of work already and I want to make them usable. So I'm going to do this again. Make sure I get the background spots that I missed before. Again, just squishing that ink down directly on the embossing folder. I was a little bit nervous it was going to stain them. That would have bothered me. If you guys have used red and pink or purple ones before, you know that's typically the ones to stain, and it came off. So I was showing you, yep, I got it off. So no problem. So I got the background. Now this one, I decided to do the same thing, but I thought, I'm going to get oxides. So originally I was going to do right persimmon because that was the same color, but then I thought, no, I need a little bit more drama. So I grabbed the aged mahogany, which you'll see in a moment. This one is a little troublesome to line back up. You kind of just nestle it back in the embossing folder. You can kind of lock it back in place. This one was being a little difficult. So eventually I got it, and I decided instead of the right persimmon to go with a darker color for the background on this one. But I'm going to do the same thing, nestle the panel right back in place. I forgot. I did. I tried this. So lots of trial and error here, guys. It's been a minute since I filmed it. That's why I'm not remembering exactly all the steps, so I apologize. It's new and exciting for me too, guys. It's like I'm watching it all over again. I don't remember what happened. So I ran it through, and this was like, meh. It was okay. But then I decided I'm going darker. So put it back in, and then come in with the aged mahogany. I'm going to clean it because I don't want to contaminate my ink pad with the lighter color. Just kind of dry it off, get that extra ink off of there with my stamp chamois. And then I'm going to come in with the aged mahogany in the background and again run it through the embossing folder and see, or my Spellbinders Platinum 6 embossing machine or die cutting machine, whatever you want to call it, and then see what it does. So just running this all over and crossing my fingers that it works out. And guys, this is my favorite out of the 4. So let me know at the end which one of the 4 is your favorite, but I really, really like how that one turned out. Now in this one, I was thinking I want to go darker again. So I went with the chip sapphire, but I do think I ended up changing my mind on that panel. So on this one for the hot tub, I'm nestling it in, and then I ended up going with evergreen bow. That was the color because I felt like it was darker but similar to the hot tub color of Catherine Pooler. Oh yeah, this one was really difficult to line back up because it's kind of spotty. It's not covering the full panel, so it made it a little bit harder to line up. But the evergreen bow is definitely darker than the hot tub, so it worked. And again, I'm doing the same thing for all of these and getting it all over the background. So it's basically just going to go on the flat part of the panel. You can see I missed that chunk, so I got to do it again. It was a labor of love, guys. You could see I had spent way too much time on this to abandon ship at this point. So this one, I thought it was kind of cool. The flowers popped up. Now, the sad thing about this is the stencils didn't get the glory that they should have. It did kind of subdue them a little bit. So that's why this isn't my favorite. It didn't quite work out exactly to plan, but you can still see the stencils, and I was able to at least make it so you could somewhat see the embossing too. So again, not my favorite technique, but I'm glad I stuck it out because I do like how they turned out in the end. And then I ended up changing, I think, to Villainous Potion instead of the Chip Sapphire in that one. So you can see the flowers, you can see the stenciling, and we made it work. Now, a way to showcase the stencils a little bit more, to show them in their glory, I decided to do some ink blending on the inside of these card bases. So you can see here I'm coming in with just some residual ink, Just some very subtle ink blending on the inside of the card with the stencil. No more embossing, just the same color as the stenciling on the front. And then just kind of showcasing them a little bit more on the inside of the card. So that's a way to kind of bring back the beauty of the design of these stencils, is just to kind of show them and have that continuity on the inside of the cards. Now, I get to finish them with the card bling. So fun. There's new colors in the shop, 12 new colors this month, so be sure to check those out. If you're lucky and get to them in the first week, you can get all 12 new colors at 20% off for the full bundle sale, and also use my coupon AmyFan10 on top of it and save even more. So I'm just kind of flipping through my options. I have so many to choose from. I love this step, and I will show you in a moment the 4 that I did end up going with. But I tend to go a little bit monochromatic. I just like that, and I like having so many options to choose from. So I have been kind of going a little bit monochromatic lately, just to kind of match the color of the design. So I'm flipping through so many options, so many choices, really fun. And these are all just, they're just glorious. They're multiple sizes. They're flat back sequins without holes in them. I like having multiple sizes just because I feel like from a design perspective, they look cool. So here's the 4 colors. I will link those as well below. That satin matte nude is one of the new ones for this month, I believe. So here I'm just going to show you the finished cards. Like I said, I left the sentiments off. I could always add a sentiment later, or I could put them together in a gift set, just like note cards without a sentiment. I could put them in a little package with some envelopes and give them as a gift, as a nice fun, maybe a hostess gift or a teacher gift, or maybe you donate cards and you need to batch a bunch. So the moral of the story here is just stick it out. Just find a way to rework it. 9 times out of 10, you can figure out something that will save your project. And at the end of the day, if you can't save it, it's just paper, right? And it's all about the journey. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing. Be sure to check out the August release, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.